Hello, hello, hello! Happy Thursday night. Scrap your scraps. It's Crafty Chris here. I'm trying to get my chair close to the table. And tonight, I've been cleaning my craft room slash office slash peace and quiet pleasure place. I've been looking at all kinds of things that I got lots of. So I have lots of buttons, and these are my colored buttons. I've got my neutrals, blacks, and browns in this one. So I thought I would do a layout with buttons. The other thing I have is these sticker buttons. And also the fact that I have all these squares. I'm just going to put the buttons away for a minute. And I thought I would do a slip album, but a slip album using frames of different sizes. So all of these are square, and some of them are frames. That frame might be a little bit too small. So let me just show you what I got here. Let me just find it. Oh, the frames. So I have all these beautiful little tiny squares with words and fun things and sayings on them. And then I have these bigger squares that are big frames. And then I have these little squares that are little frames and have different kind of shapes in them. And then I have big squares that just have words on them. So what I was thinking, I might end up doing a 2-page layout, but I'm going to start with a 1-page layout. What I was thinking is I'm using a piece of, like I said, I never throw anything away. So this is a paper pack, and I'm using the white side of the paper pack because this is going to be completely covered with squares of paper. There's no point me actually trying to use a good piece of cardstock, because I'm going to make it a good piece of cardstock after I've created these things. So I'm going to use some large squares, I'm going to use some large frames, I'm going to use some small frames, and I'm going to use some small squares, and I'm going to lay out something. So the first thing I want to do is figure out what I like in the big backgrounds. So I like the Love Life. I don't know if I need the high. That's a good one because it's, what do you call it? A journaling spot. Hello, hi, I'm not really into. That's a cool one. I like the colors on that one. And could do without that one. So we got 3 big plain squares. And now I want to put together, I'm going to get all my big frames. This kind of coordinates with the colors going on. That kind of coordinates too, but I'm not really a big fan of the speech bubble. Here's this, maybe that's better. Yes, I think that's better. I think there's too much yellow in this one. And then I have a square that kind of coordinates, and I have a selfie. I'm liking the selfie one. Okay, and then I have this one that I can go that way or that way. I'm not really all that thrilled with that one. So I'm going to stick with these. I've got these 3 things going for me right now. Okay, and they're 4x4, so you can see how I can sort of play around with them. Yes, and I can turn this either direction if I want everything to stay in. I'm going to pretend this is a left-hand page, so I'm going to have my heart floating in to the left-hand side. Now I have some little frames. I want to find my little frames and make sure I have. This one is going to be too thin because I'm going to be using them as pockets. I need to make sure that I have something to glue to and hold whatever photo I put in there. Okay, these guys are all plain ones as far as I can see, no pockets. Yeah, okay. These are my pockets. This one is cute, but it really doesn't go along with the gray is the thing that's throwing me off, but you know, we'll put that to the side if we don't find anything else. This isn't going to be great because it's not going to give me enough of the picture, but that might be fun in another layout with like perhaps some foil underneath or something like that. So that's out. Let's see. I've got more stripes and lines happening here, so I don't really like the circle, so we're going to keep that out. There's another one of those gray ones, and now that I have two, I don't know. I can't decide. I'm finding that these stars might be a little too difficult to work with, plus it's got that yellowy green in it, which I don't really like. Circle, stripes, pink, might work. Oh, look, that matches that one, so that can definitely go. Oh, we got a smile, which kind of is along the lines of these. We have a hello. We have a heart, which is like that one, but it has dots now. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so the point is we need to fill space, but I'm going to keep the heart away. I'm going to keep that away too. I'm going to work with what I've got here because I've got all these blanks that I can use. All right, so if we look at this and we kind of line it up and just kind of play around a little bit, I should be able to get 4 of the squares in each of the empty spots. So I'm just kind of moving these away from the other picture pockets. And now I can play around with my other squares. That's another journal pocket, but I think that's going to be enough. This is that yellow color I don't like. This is pink with the yellow color. This is a heart with green, which I might be able to handle. But it's another, I'm just going to separate these a bit. That doesn't really have enough color. It's going to leave a lot of white. This is kind of cute, but again, it's a journal spot, so I'm trying to find something else. And that's got cute spots, but I may combine a couple of these things together. I don't know. I want to get rid of the ones that are white background because I'm feeling that they will be, although this one has got a big enough sentiment on it. Maybe I can put that one there, and that says hey. This has got this stripe in it, so how about we put that one going in the opposite direction up there. This one says awesome. It kind of blends in with that area, so why don't we put that down here? What if we went that way? Oh, it's the same. Okay, get back in the picture frame here so you can see what I'm doing. Laugh, smile. I want to keep it away from that one. So I think I'm going to move the hay over here. Put the laugh, smile here because I'm spreading the colors out. I don't want them to all hang around the same location. And here's a darker one. That's got awesome. Let's put a word up here. Good times. Love. Put that there. Not into the hello, hi really. Right now, I don't know if I want that hay. It's like a hello and a hi. Maybe we'll put the orange there because that kind of pulls orange in that direction. I don't like that yellow. Every little thing. Alrighty. Be happy. Okie dokie. This is not the right color line, so we're going to get rid of that one altogether. And then yellow dots. Okay, so we're going to have to go back and have a look. I think I am going to put every little thing right there. Enjoy. I'm trying to avoid having, oh, this might be difficult. So I've got, each frame has a smaller frame, and each frame has words, and 2 frames have just pattern. I have to go back in, and I think I might want to combine some of these together, like so, to create a square pattern that can be put in some of these missing spots. So I think I'm going to do that. So we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, so if I could put that in there, that would be kind of fun. Or I could put it this way and change the direction. So that we're going to say goes there, let's say. And what else do we have? We have this horrible, horrible yellow. Can't do the yellow, guys. Sorry. It's not going to work for me. I have pink with a hi on it. And then what do I got going on here? I don't want to put hi, hello, or hey. I don't know why. So I do have some of these patterns. Don't really like that yellow. So we could do something like that and have another spot, but that's not very much color. Do I like that or don't I? Maybe I'll mix a little bit of these up with a little bit of these. Okay, so these are the tops. So if I have a heart and then a stripe, that might work there. And then if I have stripes and hearts, oh, this is going to go there. Stars aren't in the right location. I don't like the yellow arrow, or do I? What do I like? I could put, oh, it's going the same direction. So maybe I'll move this over here and put that up there. I think that's good. All right, so there's the premise of the beginnings of what we are going to work with. Okay, so as you have probably seen before, when I put something like this together, and I know I'm going to be taking the pieces apart and sticking them on and whatever, I always take a picture so that I have something to go by. Ooh, there we go. And so I know where to put everything back. So there's my picture. So I have that to refer to. So I know what I'm doing when I get to the point of putting everything back. So let me just put that up here. So I have that to look at. Whoops, Got to turn it around so it's in the right direction. Okay. Upside down, right side up. I want to just see what I want to see. And that's save. There we go. All right. Lots of dinging and things going on in the background here. So I notice, and I'm a real, I hate it when they have these little thingies on the side. So I'm going to break off and trim out those things so I don't have to look at them and work with them. And I will be right back. Okay, so I've trimmed off all of my little edges so that I don't have to worry about them. I'm going to be using two kinds of adhesive. I'm going to be using flat adhesive. Whoops, we lost. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. So regular adhesive, and I'm also going to use very, very, very super thin, I think this is 1/8 of an inch, sequin tape to do the pockets. So first we're going to start doing our corner pieces, and we have right now, and I'm just going to pick the right side because I have the option of two sides, and I'm just going to stick some tape down, and I have to find my little, oh, I don't know where it is. Cleaning my office and doing videos makes my space very messy. Oh well. Okay, so this is going to go right in the corner. So I'm lining it up right with the bottom edge and making it go right along the edge, oops, of the paper on both sides. There we go. There's our first one. Second one is a pocket. So I'm going to leave the top open, and I'm just going to put some sequin tape on the bottom edges, and I have to pick this side because that's the side I want. So right as close to the edge as you can get without going over, and again on 3 sides. Make sure it's pushed nicely. If you make an effort to make sure you push down the tape, then you won't have any issues with lifting up the paper backs, or the tape backs. Sorry, not the paper. Sometimes I'm talking and I'm thinking about the next step. Oh, look at that. That wasn't very good. Try that again. Get some fresh tape down there. There we go. Put it away. So here is our first pocket. There we go. And that's going to go in this corner, lined up in the very corner along the edges of the paper. Oops. This stuff has a very, very limited shiftability, so you want to make sure you get it down. And now I have my pocket here for a photo. And then I'm going to do the top one. Which side do I like best? I like that side. Not a pocket, so I can just adhere it like I normally would. But I'm going to shift this around because it's too far away from me to see exact corners. Doesn't want to play. There we go. Alrighty, and then I'll do the other top corner, which is the today and the journaling. It has a bit of a flaw on it. Okay. And of course, making sure that you put them all in the right direction is key. There we go. Alrighty, turn it back around. Now, I want this one to go in the center, and I think I'm going to put it in very last because there is some size differences, so I want to be able to manage that. Okay, so on this side, let me get my picture here. All right. There we go. So on this side, I had this there, and then I had Enjoy Life underneath, and then I had this made into a square and that there. So let's put everything but this, and we're going to have to figure out how to do that in a moment. So there's no pocket on the two bottom ones. Oh, if you can hold it. So I'm going to line that up with the edge and with my pocket, so I can still get into my pocket. And there we go. Lining that up with my edge and my pocket. Alrighty. So that's starting to look good. Now this is a pocket, so again, we are going to have to use our skinny tape. Super skinny tape. If I can find the beginnings. And which side do I prefer? Alrighty. Right close against the edge. This has hello on it, which I don't mind so much because it's actually more the picture you're going to be looking at, hopefully. I'm going to have to trim this a little bit. Now you're going to have to, when you get your pictures to put them in these frames, you're going to have to make sure that you cut them the correct size. So if you know that this is 1/8 off, then it's 1/4 of an inch that you would take off the width. So it becomes 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. You can have a little more on the top because you don't have tape on the top. But okay, now I need to trim off a little bit of this overage here. My tear didn't work so well, and there we go. Being careful just to take that top bit. Hopefully we pushed it down hard enough. There we go. Now this is going to go in here. So we're going to have it sit on top. There we go. And then we have our little pocket there. Alrighty, now this guy we are going to have to make into a 2" by 2" piece. So we have our 2" by 2" beginning. I'm just going to put this aside for a moment. So there's our 2" by 2" beginning. I'm just going to put some repositionable tape on here to hold it so that I can map out what's going on with the rest. And I started out with the hearts on top, so that's what we're going to keep on top. And then we have the stripes. Now the stripes, are 1/2 inch. So I'm going to trim that out for 1/2 inch with my little trimmer. Where is it? So we're going to give it that 1/2 inch. So let's do it this way. A little over 1/2 inch. There we go. And we're just going to take that down. Whoops. Which side do I prefer? It's just easier to just go and put a long line of tape on here. And we are going to center that in the center so that it goes up the center. Whoopsie. Repositionable is repositionable. And then I want to make sure that I'm covering the bottom. So that looks almost like 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to take 3/4 of an inch off of there. And guess what I'm going to do with that? 10 guesses. And you tell me which one, what you think I'm going to do with this. Now, I'm going to have the arrow going the other way because, oh, look at that, it fits perfect. All right. Although, I'm losing the rounded edges though. I don't care. Okay, so it's going in one long piece of tape. And we're just going to stick it right up against that. There we go. And we have our square. So now let's get our piece back and we're going to put this right in that spot. And now it looks a little bit more colorful, not so white. So I want to line it up. There we go. All right, so there's 1/3 of our page done. Looking good. So now I'm going to the top and I'm going to turn it sideways and put all my top pieces in. So my top pieces were going in. One was going there. This one was going here, this one was going here, and this one was going there. So I'm just going to make sure I have the nice one. I'm going to put in my pocket last. I'm going to do my good times first. Which side do I like? This side. And line it up with the top edge. There we go. Then my be happy. Yeah, I could do that. Be happy. Yeah. Which side do I like? This side. And that's going to fit right there. Oopsie. Okay, and then we're going to put this guy in. Actually, I had him this way. Like that. Aha, that's why that wasn't fitting perfectly. There we go, that's better. And then we'll put our pocket in after. Okay, so this is going to go here. There we go. All right, now just dry fitting. Which side do I like the best? Okay. There we go. And actually, I'm going to move this down just a tad. Just a tad. It might be more than a tad. There we go. Because I noticed this was slightly over. It's well over that way. So I might have to... Nope, that fits in perfectly. Okay. So, again, pocket, small tape, skinny tape, and one side, one side. Now, I want these to go long this way instead of short. I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put it here on this side, right up against the edge. Okay, make sure that's all put down. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you have the opening towards the top. And there we go. And now we can stick a picture in right there. There we go. Alrighty. So we're looking good so far. Just a few more steps. And these all came pre-cut. They were part of a collection of things. So it's kind of neat to just use them as they are. And this guy was down here. Oh, wait a minute. Got that backwards. That guy was here. That guy was there. That guy was Garrett. And then this guy goes in the bottom. So first we're going to stick these guys down. Okay. There we go. And this is going to be a pocket. Don't like that side. Which way do I want the stripes to go? Might as well make them all go the same direction, because that might look odd. That goes that way, that goes that way. I think I like it going the same direction. So that means thin tape across the bottom. And then up one side. And up the other side. All right, there we go. Ta-da-dee. So we're back to being home, some of us, and crafting again, and sticking to our plan to stay safe, which is awesome. Don't want to get family members ill, especially going into the spring. And there's my pocket. Yep. Just got to make sure I always remember that pocket. And how do I want these? Do I want these this way or this way? I think I'm going to put them this way. kind of need to balance them with the other side. There we go. And now we're going to make this one. And this one we had starting with the stripes. So we're going to get that little piece of paper, or tape rather. And we're going to, the next one is going to be the heart. So we're going to give that a 1/2 inch. Like we did on the last one. Yeah, I think we'll give it a 1/2 inch, or do we want to get, I'm going to give it 3/4 of an inch and see how the bottom one looks, because I can always cut off a little bit more if I don't like it. So there's 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, it's way too much. So we're going to make this a 1/2 inch. Okay, there we go. It's a little more than a 1/2 inch. So we're going to get fussy. We're going to get fussy, fussy, fussy. That should be okay, and then that should be okay. All right. That doesn't look straight, Chris. So sorry, I'm just focusing on eyeballing. Okay. All right. And then which side do I want? This is on the left side. Oh, doesn't matter. The heart is going wherever it wants. Just put a strip down there. Align that with the 1/2 inch mark. There we go. And then this is going to be 3/4 of an inch. And that should fit in there perfectly, which it does. Now which way do I want it? Do I want it with more or with less? I think I might do it with more. Yep. Alrighty. And there we go. Lined up, and oops. There we go. It's our square to finish off this corner. Beautiful, fits in there lovely. Oops, I need that much. Shouldn't have used that much tape, but there we go. Now down here we have these guys, and I have them laid out like this, like that, like this, and like that. Alrighty, so let's get these guys. Which side do I like? we go. I'm going to leave that open. Which side of the love do I want? This is going to go right in there. There we go. Every little thing. It's been around so long they were getting a little bit messed up. Okay. There we go. And now, is that even? Yeah. And now this is going to fit in there perfectly. So again, figuring out which side I want. Okay. And I can get as close to the bottom as I can without going over. Close to the side as I can without going. And here as well. All right, so on this one, had the smile been on top rather than the bottom, I might have considered turning this sideways to have a longer visual. But because it's got the words on that side, I don't really like the way it works. Anyway, because I would prefer to have the words in towards the picture. But anyway, it is what it is. Those are things to think about. Alrighty, here we go. Last pocket in the smalls. Oops. Come on. There we go. And there's your pocket. Yep. And then our final pocket we're going to center in this in the middle. And oh, it works perfectly. Now which side of this pocket do I want? Because it's the left page, if I do this as a second on the right, then I want the arrow to go that way. Alrighty, so again, get my tape close to the side as possible. Same as the bottom. And along the edge to the top here. Awesome. All right, and this is our last pocket. And then I want to see how I want to decorate it, because I think I would like to put some buttons on here just to give it a little bit of dimension. And I may also want to have those buttons have a little bit of string, like bows in the buttons. So we'll look at that in just a moment. And there we go. And there's our pocket for the center. So, easy, super easy layout. Took me all of, I don't even know how long. But I'm going to grab some string and the buttons and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. I've got myself some fuchsia embroidery floss, and I'm going to take a couple of white buttons out because it's always good to have some white buttons, but they're going to be kind of medium sized. I don't want them to be too large. I'd like them to be as white as possible. Here's another one. 3 different ones, but they're in the white category. And maybe a small one. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but it's a start. A black with dots on white. I think that might be fun. And that's, I think, all I have in there at the moment. Oh goodness, a sparkly. But that one's going to be a challenge to stick on because it's very high. So I think I'm going to say no to that one that just fell on the floor. I'll get that later. And I'm looking in the black section. I have black with white. Or I have clear. No, clear isn't going to work for me. Big black and white. No, it's a little too much. And I have this black and white. Or black and clear. It's got a flower on it. Yeah. By the time I get string in there, it will just be all lost. And maybe that stripe one. So black and white, white and black. So we'll start with those. And then let's get some colors out. Whoa, things are sticking. I have all my stuff pushed off to the side. All my mess. And it's falling everywhere now. Okay, so now we're going to open this one. Put this aside. I'm going to stay away from pink, and the reason for staying away from pink is because, oh, my container is falling apart. Come on. Is because I have the pink string. So the pink string is going to be enough pink with the pink in the background. So we're not doing pink. We're not doing red. We can do some lime green. And I have a couple of different lime greens. I've got that lime green. I've got that lime green. Got some smaller lime greens. I saw one fall down that I thought I would like to try. Ooh. There it is. There it is. There we go. Any more lime greens in there? Just the big ones. Okay, so lime green. Some taupey colors. Now, this is tricky because these colors are very awkward. They're between green and blue. And sometimes you get a good match and sometimes you don't. See, that one's a little bit icky. These guys are okay. They work. And I have this dark one. Oh! I see a little tiny one. Look at that. It's very dark turquoise. And I saw another one in there. And this has turquoise and white. It's very thick though. I think we'll bypass on that one. Okay. And we'll just have a little bit of turquoise. Maybe some orange. That might be too much orange. It's hard to say. I have so many different versions. We can take that, but that's very pale. That's okay. We can take that because that's very dark. That has a pattern on it. What else do we have in here? Too dark. Oh, a piece of... that's a darker colory. That might even be yellow, but let's see. That's what... Those two are too pale, I think. I think we have to stick with the darker. That's too light. And maybe one of these guys. Sure. See if there's any little ones down here. Found this little one. Yeah, there we go. I'm not going to use all these, but I'm pulling them out so I have them to play with. So we have green, we have paint, we have the pink yarn, we have orange, we have turquoise, we have white, and we have black. I think that's good enough. So we're going to stop there, close up my broken container. There we go. Tape together. Still a good container. Alrighty, now I am probably going to put some bling on here as well, but I'm just going to play around. I have to remember a photo's going in there, so that might not work. This might be too light. This has an exclamation mark, which might be perfect for that little guy. Let's see. Start with the more solid colored ones. That's a picture. That's a picture. That's a picture, so I have to keep it more on here. Enjoy. What else? Maybe a cluster. Actually, let's try a cluster. No, see, I don't like the way the color changes on that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like that. I can live with that. I like this dot one. I want this to be somewhere. Maybe down there. Here, let me move this up. You don't need to see my stuff there. I like this dot one. But maybe... Maybe we put the dot one there. That looks fun. Or I take that one out of there and I put that one in there. That looks fun too. Part of the reason for that is because the text is dark. So maybe I need to push in some green there. This is a little dark for that corner. There we go. And let's see. That needs a little something on it. A couple of little clusters. Alright, so we've got kind of this going. I want to bring it down here a little bit. Right now this looks like a bullseye, so that might be cute. I think I'll just leave it as it is. And maybe something here. Instead of the star, maybe put something else there. No. Maybe there. That's too close to that one. Maybe there. Maybe there. Have a little white one. What if we did something like, I feel like I need to, what if we put the white there? All right, so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, am I liking this? And I still need something there. Maybe this guy. Orange. Because then I have a zigzag thing happening. Or maybe there's too many buttons here. Take those out and I put one of these here and one of these here. Then I can put no. Something like that. This is the hardest part of the whole process, is trying to figure out how to manage the planar parts. Even though there's pattern, there's nothing making it 3D. Oh, this is kind of fun. Just sticking a button right there. I don't know if I like that color right there though. I bet if we stuck that color right there. That's a little better. This seems just to draw your eye a little tiny bit too much. And this is kind of balanced. All right, now, or do we do this? Or do we do this? Or do we do this? Do we go back to that? I think I like that. Okay, so now we have to do the whole threading and cutting and blah, blah, blah. So you want to get yourself a darning needle, one that isn't too wide at the end, but that you can actually get yarn through. Oops. There we we go. Which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to use that one. All right, and I'm not going to use all 6 strands. All your embroidery yarn is 6 strands, so I'm going to break it into sets of 3. But I'm going to figure out, first of all, how much I need. So if I'm going to wrap around and do a bow, better to have more than less. I am going to give myself 5 inches so I can make my life easy. And I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. Okay, so there's your 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, oh, you can't see it. So there's your 5 inches. Now I'm just going to split the threads into 3. What's going on? This looks like I've already split this stuff. This is only 5 strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it is 6 strands. Okay, there we go. Pulling it apart, keeping it twisted, and now threading a needle. The easiest way for me to do this is I put the thread over top of my needle, so my thread is between the needle and my finger. I pull it super tight and pinch it right at the needle, and then I find my hole and I wiggle it down over that fold and pull it through. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Oh, I got 3 threads in there. So we'll try it again. So I'm putting my thread under it, pulling it tight, and putting my needle over top. I might need a longer eye on my needle. There we go. Nope, did 2 again. Okay, I'm going to use the other needle because it has a longer eye for this job. Oh, I worked out this morning and did a lot of plank. My wrist is killing me now. Too much planking. Okay, do it again. So thread, needle, pull it really tight, and wiggle it over top. There we go. And there you go. So it's easier than trying to get it through the hole. So you're going to go down first, hold the end, and come up the other side, and there's your thread. And then you're going to tie a knot to begin with. And then what I do the cheater method. I fold 2 loops and then just knot the loops. Ooh, I actually should have done more thread than 5 inches. My fingers are not as nimble as they used to be. So here we go, this way, and this way, and that way. Nope. Okay, do it the old-fashioned way. So we're making 6 inches on the next threads. Or we can just do double knot and have just loose threads. Let's try that one for this because it's too short for me to fuss with. Whoops, I missed it altogether. There, double thread. And I want them to hang a little bit, so I'm just going to trim them a little like that. And so it's going to go in that corner with its thread to the front. There we go. There's one. So I'm going to get some not pop dots, but adhesive dots. I'm going to use medium-sized adhesive dots. The small are just a little too small. on the back where the knot is not. I'm going to put a dot there, and I'm going to put this diagonally. Although I'm just realizing that's going to conflict with me getting a picture in there. So perhaps I will put it there. It's far enough away from the edge of the, there we go. There we are. There's my first button. Okay, now this is the second half of that. So we're going to do the same thing. Put the thread underneath, pull it tight, find our eye, and pull it through. And make one longer than the other. And where's our other single? This has got 4 sides, so we're going to use a larger thread for sure on that. This only has 2, so we go down from the front, holding the long thread, and up. Okay. And this is going to be another tied one because I did not make this long enough. Just going to tie it off and trim it. There we go. Put a little glue dot on there. It's good to put your glue dot over top of the actual thread. It keeps the thread from shifting around. And there's our button on the bottom at an angle. I like the holes to be at an angle. It adds a little bit of dynamics to it. Now let's go to 6 inches. Oops, lost my end. There we go. 6 inches. Clean off this mess. Separate the 6 inches into 3 and 3. Oh, that's a nasty bit of mess. There we go. Okay, then we're going to put our needle underneath, hold it tight, stick the head over top and pull it through. Make one side longer than the other. And this is a 4-1, so we're going to go down and across. We're going to come up on the alternate side, so crisscrossing, and then down again. Want to make sure we have enough thread, and then up beside that, and then down again, and then up. There we go. So we have our crisscrossing happening. And this one I'm going to try and tie into a non-cheating knot, because I don't have enough thread for a non-cheating knot. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Probably take me 20 minutes to do this. And in the meantime, you're going yawn. But that's okay. Oh, come on! What is the most frustrating part about doing this? It is da, 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 da. There we go. So we're going to make you small. There we go, we got that. We need to pull it tighter. Uh-oh. You know what? We're going to trim this one too. Make my life easier. But we do have to get bows on here. Maybe a smaller button. Okay, so we're going to trim this one. All right, and you should always, not like I just did, make sure that you keep your needle with your tools. So if you can't find it, you know where to always look. Not like I did. Now, we're not really going to see the heart under this, which is just fine. I'm not completely sold on the heart anyway. The heart can stay or go, it makes no difference. Uh-oh. Come on! Off with you. All right. And we're going to have that diagonally too. My strings don't want to stay down. I can put a little glue and make them stiffer so they fall where I would prefer them to be. All right, here's my other 6-inch. Needle underneath. Whoops, take all of it, Chris. Needle underneath, pinch, push through. Make one longer than the other. Oh, I'm going to take our little guy. Now, I don't know if I want all of these to have threads. I think I just want the orange one to have thread. So there's one, there's two, and this one we're going to try and tie a bow if we can. All right, so I'm looping it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking one side, looping it, taking the other side, looping it. Let's see if I can show you this. And then I'm using the loops to make a knot. I think it's going to work. Ta-da! But I have to play with it because I lost some of the thread. So that's basically the idea, but you just got to get all the thread together. Loop. 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 Okay, good. Pull a little. Pull a little bit more, and then tighten it. So it's just a matter of figuring out what size bow you want on here. And I think that's a good size bow. There we go. All right. So I'm going to trim that off and pull this underneath. There we go. And put a dot on the bottom. My dots might be old. They're not sticking very well. Okay. Underneath. Pull you up, pull you up. And I'm going to have that stick in the corner there. our little bow, and it's twisting for some reason. Does not want to go in that direction. So bows are fussy. Made out of this material anyway. Ribbon is much easier, but it also is much thicker. Oh, don't lose it, Chris. There we go. And I'm going to put it here, and I'll play with it later to get it to lay properly. Just doesn't seem to want to cooperate. Oops. You go under here. There we go, that's a little better. And you come over here. Oops. Oh, I can't believe it. It came apart. All right. Now it's on the page. Let's see how we do. I am so sorry, folks. This is taking so long. You know what? I'll do it when I'm off camera. So anyway, now I want to put down with glue dots. Oop, on the back of the other two buttons. And they don't need to have a bow, but I do want to, should have done that first. Okay. No. And this is going to go there. And where's my little blue one? There it is. And this, which side is up, is going to go down on here. There we go. So there's my little collage. I will fix the bow on that after. Keeping my pin there so I don't lose it. That's something there. Okay, now we're almost done. So this guy, I'm going to take 7 inches and see if that makes it any easier. I'd rather trim back than have this much trouble. Actually, this is a big one, so I think I'm going to put a full string through. And I can probably do it without, maybe not. Okay, so we're going to try getting this through. I'm not separating the thread on this one because it's a bigger button. Just going to make sure I get all the threads through. And of course I didn't. When you do a thicker thread, you got to make sure you've got flattened out all the threads so that they go through the needle. There we go. That's how you do it. Okay, down and up. Right. Put a knot. And I think what I'm going to do is stick this one down right away. I think I had that right over there, because it helps to have it anchored and floating around in my hand. So we're going to stick this right down on top of there. And now we're going to tie a bow. Oh, that was so much easier. 7 inches seems to be the way to go. So this is, there we go. And now, now it's going in the opposite direction than what I wanted. There we go. So I'm going to pull this out a little longer than I need it, and I'm going to tie a knot so it doesn't slide around like the other one is doing. So I'm taking my bow, the bow part, not the tails, and I'm making a knot with it. If I can get it in here. Nope. There we go. Alrighty. And then you just open up your bow. It's twisted. I have to fix that later. But I just trimmed and it's already knotted. And there's our little bow. You can open it up. This side I have to open up off camera because it's a little fussy. And then we can put our other pieces underneath. 1, 2. Okay. So this is the back of that. This is the back of this. And we can put that one there. And this one here. And I want this one here. So we don't completely cover up the love. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And I'll fix that after. So it opens up nicely too. Alrighty. Got that on, that on, that on, that on, that on, that on, that on. So we just need to do this. 7 inches. Gonna measure. Okay. And I'm gonna make this a big one too. So I need to flatten. I'll just take my finger and spread out the strands that are there. And then flatten that out. Stick that through. There we go. So down. Hold on to the tail and up. Hold on to the tail. I'm going to tie a knot. Alrighty. I'm going to stick it down before I put it on. Oh goodness. Go. Now, I'm going to move those two out. Put that one there. Tie my knot. Oops, don't let it go through. Tighten it up as I see fit. Come on. Make it small and then tighten it up. Then I'm going to tie an extra knot using the bows. There we go, nice and tight. Trim off the bottoms. Make sure you have nice sharp scissors for that. Open up the bow parts to make them round and bow-like. And this again needs to be shifted around in that direction. Then we're going to put a glue dot on the back of this one. And it's going to go right there. This might be a little too high actually. I'm going to move that down. That one's going to go there. And then grab this. Put it on the back of the green one. Alrighty. Yeah. Something's not right here. I want this. Nice thing about glue dots is if they're not too new, you can kind of play around with them. So I want this there, this there, and then this there. And we're going to open up our bow. There we go. And I think that's everything on there now. So now the only thing I would do left over is get out my favorite glitter pen, which is Wink of Stella. I am going to use the silver or the clear Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to go in and decide what needs to glitter. Like hearts need to glitter. Let's see what else. I can do today by going over the black with the glitter. Make sure you get it right up to the edge there. So I can do that, and I'll continue that in a moment. So there's more hearts. Do all the hearts because hearts should really glitter. And these hearts can glitter. And if you want, you can do some clear glossy accents on the hearts. We'll even make this guy glitter. And, you know, choose what on the page you'd like to have glittery, and if you want to make it more 3D, you can actually add some glossy accents on top, or you can use a Nouveau or something that is three-dimensional, and Bob's your uncle. You are done. So I haven't finished all the augmenting yet, but you can see the sparkling on that today, and the buttons. That is, I think, the best bow I've made today. Haven't done a lot of bows lately. I think you need to be in good practice for that. And then this guy's going to be a bow as well. And a bow down here. Like to do things in threes if possible. This guy, I think I'm going to trim him off a little bit more and stiffen him up with some glue so that he'll come down in the right direction. This one's happy. And your photo. So your photos are spread all over the page. And that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this week's Scrap Your Scraps. And next week it'll be something else. So we'll see you next Thursday. Bye now.